the population didn't. There were just the word green hadn't been coined yet as an environmentally responsible issue. So I thought, well, if I'm going to, because I believe in it, because it was funny, everybody in the United States printed with plastisol inks. And in Europe, everybody printed with water-based inks. And their shirts felt so much nicer than our shirts. And I learned how to print with water-based inks in Italy. So when I brought it back, no one cared. And I thought, I want to create a line of organic cotton shirts, because there was only, at that time, one t-shirt in the United States made with organic cotton. Now, this shirt is going to discharge and go through. It's been printed, and it's going to, you can look at that, you saw that. And so what happens is it goes through this oven at 350 degrees. And come this way. And through the air blows through there, and it blows all the water out of the pigment and all the water out of the print, and then the shirt, the design, goes from a very muted color to a bright color, because what you were seeing going into the oven, the dryer, as this is, was water and pigment. Now it's just pigment. Oh yeah. We should have got a younger person. So here we would have a water-based print, and if you feel this has become the shirt. All the ink and the pigments in the ink have become the shirt, and so you don't get any feel. So feel this, how soft it feels.
Wow.
So this will never crack. I mean, there are some cracks, well, not really. There's some cracks in it that are in the design, but that's not really. Sometimes these things are printed and the artwork is made with cracks. But let me get another. So you can feel kind of like these, feel how that feels. So this plastisol lays on top of the fabric, and water base is infused in the fabric, and it's called, what we use is called discharge printing. So it's like if when someone dyes their hair, sometimes they would dye it, and maybe they will take the color out of it and put the new color in. And it's kind of the same process in a way. So let me just show you. We have two automatic presses, here and here. And then we have two manual presses, here and over there. And the difference is, quite often when we see sometimes we will get a job from a large company, let's say Whole Foods, will come to us and want us to print 1,000 shirts. Well, if I printed 1,000 shirts by hand, it maybe take me 2 days to do that. If I printed them on this machine, it would take me somewhere between 2 and 3 hours. And basically, a machine does all of this through computer. The computer tells it how fast the squeegee goes, what kind of angle the squeegee takes, how hard the squeegee presses, and does it. One person loads, one person takes it off, as you'll see in a little bit. And this is a very sophisticated process. This is an old-fashioned kind of process here, but with very sophisticated, go ahead, you can walk in here. Very sophisticated registration, because sometimes here was only one color, but sometimes, we want to print maybe 6 colors. Well, all those colors have to match together. And so what happens, how we do that is somebody sends us a design, and it comes to my art department. And my art department looks at it and says, they break out the red, the green, all the colors, and then they match them, and I'll show you over here. They put them in and register them digitally in the computer. So this is a design that we're doing for the Denver Zoo. And you can see all of the colors that are in this design. And so what John's our art director here.
Hi.
Hi.
And what John is doing is he's making all the colors so that each one of these colors will have its own screen.
What I'm doing right now is actually I'm not creating it for a printing process yet. I'm advising the customer on whether or not they can make some certain price cuts on there. So that's part of the project is to make sure we meet the needs of the customer, exactly what they want, and whether or not a design is good for water-based or plastisol. In this case, it has to be a plastisol because this is a tri-blend shirt, and that's requires a different process.
So we're
just advising.
One of the disadvantages of water-based printing is that sometimes if it's a polyester blend and it's a dark shirt, water-based is not your best option to print. So you have to go to a different kind of decorating process. The difference that we use in the printing process is the plastisol ink.
So 2 different projects, and then the other things that we get to consider on these types of designs on if they want to make it less colors but still want a green, we have to consider using yellow and blue as a possible to make that green, or a yellow and a red possible to make an orange. And so that's all part of the advising of the client. And so there might be answers that the customer doesn't want to hear.
And this is a very valuable process for us and for our customers. And we've been in business since 1983, mostly because, not mostly, but and a good part because we advise our customers what's the best way, what's the best products to use. Now, John here has been with our company since 1989.
More longer than you guys.
Yeah, so people have a very deep trust in us that when we say, sometimes he could just say, well, you need 8 screens here, or 6 screens here. However, he might say, well, we can mix the 2 colors to make 1 color. Now, it might not be the exact color that was in your design, but it's close. And it will save our client money. It will achieve the same kind of image. And if it makes the client happy, then that's what our job is to make the client happy and to maximize their savings. What John just said, this image is going to be printed on a shirt that's called a tri-blend. So there's cotton, there's rayon, and there's polyester. And so if they're going to want any kind of brightness at all, if they were to print it by water-based, it would not be bright. They would still see an image, and it would be nice, but it would never be as pretty as it would be, or bright as it would be if it were plastisol. So we can tell them, here's what it is. We can make it look like this bright in plastisol, or we can make it what we call a little bit knocked down. The image is a little flat on there. Now, a lot of younger people like it when it's knocked down because they know it's a better print, and they know that it's a softer print. And a lot of the shirts, like a tri-blend, the young people like the tri-blend because it's so soft. That's nicer feel because a cotton will accept the water pigment, and the nicer the cotton is, that is to say, if it's a ring spun cotton, it will be nicer. And so the nicer the cotton is, the more it will accept the pigment. Now a tri-blend or a polyester is basically a synthetic fiber made of plastic, basically.
So basically you're saying that the watery pigment in the cotton is not only sustainable, but the quality-wise it's really much better than other kind of artificial, like a textile thing.
Absolutely.
About a feel. This is one of the other really cool things that water-based allows, or this particular type of water-based allows for t-shirts. If you put it on a shirt that is that tri-blend shirt, you get some of that texture, this heather type texture that comes through in this ink. So it does look a little bit worn, a little bit more rugged, a little earthier appearance, and people like that kind of worn in.
Ironically, water-based, for the way we do water-based, is actually less expensive. Because to get this look, you have to put what's called an underbase. So if this were all on a cotton shirt, and it was just the white, blue, and orange, that's 3 colors, but being that it's on like if it were on a tri-blend or a polyester, we would have to have an underbase to it, so that makes it underbase, white, blue, and orange. It's 4 colors, and it costs the client a little bit more money.
So in
We would prefer if we only Yeah, if we only printed with water base, because quite honestly, the clients often, this client wants plastisol only. And what I don't like about plastisol mostly is the cleanup.
I see.
When you have to clean the screens, you're cleaning out a petroleum-based product. And every can of solvent that it takes to clean up after our water base will have a warning signal on it. Pregnant women should not stand within 50 feet of an open container of this product. Well, that should tell you there's something wrong with that. So here we are, all in the, all of my employees, my friends. There's my son over there. I don't want to be breathing something that a pregnant woman couldn't. So this is the other part of this is when we make the screen or the stencil. And when we have a water-based design, and they're cleaning it all out over there, basically there's no solvent. It's just a high-pressure hose, and you clean it all up. With plastisol, you have to have